When joint owners of real estate can no longer coexist, they may invoke the power of the court to sever ownership. Texas law will not force a reluctant owner of real estate to maintain joint ownership. Instead, the owner may compel a partition of the property among all joint owners. This remedy is known as partition and is governed by Chapter 23 of the Texas Property Code. Partitions may occur by agreement or through a lawsuit filed in the district court of the county in which any part of the property is located. Courts divide co-owned land in two ways: by ordering a sale with the proceeds divided among the owners according to their ownership interests, or in kind. Under in-kind partition, the property is divided into separate parcels with each allotted to a separate owner. The objective for in-kind partitions is achieving a fair and equitable division. Whether a piece of land can be fairly partitioned in kind is a fact question, and Texas law favors in-kind partitions over sales. Therefore, the burden of proof falls on the party opposing in-kind partition and seeking to sell the property. If the property can be divided without materially impairing its value, a sale will not be ordered. The Texas Rules of Civil Procedure create a two-stage process for the partition of real estate. In the first stage, the court determines whether the property is susceptible to partition in kind and decides the fractional interest of each joint owner. If the court determines that the whole or any part of the property is susceptible of partition, then the court will appoint 3 or more persons to serve as commissioners to make the partition. In the second stage, the commissioners consider the property's characteristics and evaluate considerations for dividing the property, always seeking to retain the partition tract's highest value. A majority of the commissioners will partition the real estate into as many shares as there are owners, giving due regard to the situation, quantity, and advantages of each share so that the shares may be equal in value. The commissioners then proceed by lot to set apart to each of the parties entitled one of the shares. Once the commissioners have made their decision, they submit a report under oath to the court stating their recommendations for the actual property partition. Ultimately, the court enters a judgment of partition setting forth the division of land.